Hey there, true believers! Welcome back to the channel, where we tackle all things superhero. Today we're talking about the web-slinger himself, Spider-Man. But not just any Spider-Man. We're breaking down 5 of the most iconic Spideys from across the multiverse. We've got Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, the animated Spider-Man from across the Spiderverse, and of course, Nicolas Cage's Spiderman Noir. Each one brings something unique to the table, and today we're going to figure out which one truly deserves the title of Best Spider-Man. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Alright, swinging into our first Spider-Man, we have a completely different take. Nicolas Cage's Spiderman Noir. From Spider-Man into the Spiderverse. Now, if you haven't seen this version of Spidey, you're in for a treat. Spiderman Noir is a black and white 1930s version of the character who fights crime in a gritty, Depression-era New York. He's basically Spider-Man meets an old-school detective, and Nicolas Cage gives him this deadpan, dramatic flair that's both hilarious and badass. Spiderman Noir doesn't crack jokes the same way other Spider-Men do. His humor is much darker and more subtle. Picture a hard-boiled detective who says things like, "Wherever I go, the wind follows, and the wind smells like rain." It's so over the top, but Cage delivers it with such sincerity that you can't help but love him. He's got that classic film noir vibe, with trench coats, fedoras, and a brooding personality. What's cool about Spider-Man Noir is that despite coming from a different era, he fits right into the Spiderverse team. He might be more serious and dramatic, but at the end of the day, he's still a hero who believes in doing the right thing. Plus, Nicolas Cage's voice performance gives the character a lot of personality. It's like he was born to play this part. Now let's dive into the animated world with Spider-Man, Across the Spiderverse. This version of Spider-Man, voiced by Shameik Moore as Miles Morales, is one of the freshest takes on the character we've ever seen. Across the Spiderverse is not just a visual masterpiece, but it also gave us a story that hit us right in the feels. Miles Morales is a Spider-Man for a new generation. He's dealing with his own identity as a biracial teenager, all while trying to live up to the legacy of the Spider-Men who came before him. His journey to becoming Spider-Man in Across the Spiderverse is inspiring because it's all about finding your own path, even when the odds are against you. Alright, moving on to our next Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield. Andrew took on the role in the Amazing Spider-Man series starting in 2012, and he brought a totally different vibe to the character. First off, Andrew's Spider-Man was quippy, fast, and, let's be honest, a bit cooler than Tobey's Peter Parker. He had that skater boy charm, and while his Peter was still a bit of an outcast, he had a lot more confidence and swagger. Andrew's Peter had a unique dynamic with Gwen Stacy, played by Emma Stone. Their chemistry was fire, and it gave Andrew's Peter a deeper emotional storyline. Andrew's portrayal was a lot more raw when it came to emotions. Just think about that scene in The Amazing Spider-Man. You know the one I'm talking about. Yeah, that was a heartbreaker. Andrew's Spidey wasn't just about the feels, though. His action scenes were some of the best we've seen in any Spider-Man movie. The way he swung through the city had this fluid, almost acrobatic grace to it. Plus, Andrew really nailed the quips and humor while he was fighting bad guys. That's something we all love about Spider-Man, right? He's always cracking jokes, even in the middle of a fight. Even though the Amazing Spider-Man series didn't last as long as some of us hoped, Andrew Garfield made a huge impact on fans. His return in Spider-Man No Way Home was one of the highlights of the movie. Seeing Andrew back in the suit, sharing the screen with Toby and Tom, now that's the Spider-Verse dream come true. Next up, we've got the MCU's very own Spider-Man, Tom Holland. Tom brought a whole new energy to the role when he made his debut in Captain America: Civil War. He's the youngest live-action Spidey, and his version of Peter Parker feels the most like a teenager dealing with the chaos of being a superhero. Tom's Peter is funny, nerdy, and just downright lovable. He's the kind of Spider-Man who geeks out when he gets to fight alongside Iron Man, but also gets grounded by Aunt May for sneaking out. The MCU has done a great job balancing Peter's superhero responsibilities with the fact that he's still a kid trying to figure things out. And of course, Tom brought us one of the most emotional Spider-Man moments ever in Spider-Man No Way Home. Tom's Spidey is also at the heart of some of the biggest action scenes in MCU history. Remember that airport battle in Civil War? Or when Peter fought Mysterio's illusions in Far From Home? The MCU's special effects have taken Spider-Man's action scenes to a whole new level. And Tom pulls off the physicality of the role so well. He really looks like a kid just figuring out how to use these crazy powers. But Tom Holland's greatest strength as Spider-Man is his ability to make you care about Peter Parker. He brings such a likable, everyman quality to the character. Whether he's struggling with school, trying to impress his crush, or mourning a terrible loss, Tom makes you root for him every step of the way. And now, the best of the best. Let's kick things off with the OG, the one who started it all for modern superhero movies, Tobey Maguire. Tobey swung into our lives back in 2002 in Spider-Man and instantly became the face of the web-slinger for an entire generation. His portrayal of Peter Parker was heartfelt, awkward, and oh so relatable. Tobey's Peter was the ultimate underdog. He was nerdy, shy, and struggled to juggle his responsibilities as Spider-Man with his normal life. Remember that famous line from Uncle Ben? With great power comes great responsibility. Tobey's Peter lived by that motto. Tobey's Spider-Man wasn't about flashy one-liners or looking cool. He was a deeply emotional character. When his Uncle Ben died, you felt that pain. When he struggled with losing his powers in Spider-Man 2/6, we saw just how human he was. And don't get me started on the final battle with Doc Ock. That's superhero cinema at its finest. Tobey's Peter was always someone trying to do the right thing, even when it was hard. That's what makes him such a classic. So, what makes Tobey Maguire one of the best Spider-Men? His depth of character, his ability to bring emotion to the role, and the fact that he felt like Spider-Man in every way. He wasn't perfect, but that's what made him perfect for the role. He was the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man we all needed. So folks, this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the friendly video of today. If yes, then hit the like button and subscribe our channel for more such wonderful content. See you in the next video. Goodbye.